Hola amigos y bienvenidos a otro episodio de Bailamos conmigo, Ashley. Hello friends and welcome to another episode of Bailamos, or We Dance with me, Ashley. And this week I'm very excited because we are kicking off our What is This Dance series. So often I have so many students or even spectators who come up to me asking me things like, what is the difference between salsa and bachata? What even is Latin hustle? That foxtrot thing, it's like a waltz, right? No, it's a foxtrot. So we're gonna be breaking down what these dances are, what they aren't, why you should be doing them, and I'm enlisting some very special guests to help explain the nuances of these dances. This week, we are starting off with one of my favorite dances. It's the thing that brought me to dance to begin with, which is salsa. And I have my friend here, Edwin Rivera, to explain. He is not just a huge personality on the dance floor, he's a huge personality in life. And he's also an expert in all the variations of salsa. So, bienvenidos.
Gracias.
And he's going to break down for us, ¿qué es la salsa? ¿Qué es salsa?
First of all, I like Ashley. Ashley, you know you speak 3 languages, right?
Do I?
Yeah, you do. You speak Spanish, English, and Spanglish.
more Spanglish than
Spanglish,
Spanish.
man. You know, in the Bronx, we speak Spanglish, you know. So, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for having me here, by the way. So happy to be here. What is salsa? Salsa is life. Salsa is life-changing. And something that people think that salsa is a genre, and I want to be clear. Salsa isn't a genre. Salsa is made up of different genres, multiple genres, that dates back all the way to our African roots.
And being Afro-Latino, I can relate to that.
That's right.
What kind of a dance would you say it is?
To go back to our history, this all originated in Africa. And through slavery, the Spanish colonizers, when they colonized Cuba, you know, you had the Spanish culture and the Afro culture come together, right? And this culture created this music that we listen to, right? Back in Cuba, you know, you have cha-cha-cha, son montuno, guaguancó, you know, you have mambo, all these different genres and dances that were created in Cuba. So the word salsa, it was never a genre. It was never an official genre. You know, these rhythms then, these styles, these genres, then migrated to the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico was colonized by the Spaniards. And what Puerto Rico did, we managed to spice it up. In Puerto Rico, we fused these rhythms together. We fused it, right? You know, then we had merengue. And we wanted to add merengue on top of the genres I just mentioned.
Okay.
You know, once these rhythms got popular in Puerto Rico, Puerto Ricans started migrating to the United States of America. And the first city they migrated to was New York City, right?
Good old New York.
Good old New York. They got to New York, late 30s, 40s, and the music was cracking in the 50s. So now, this music is crazy. This music is amazing. You got all these record labels, you know, signing all these musicians, and you got, you know, at one point there were like 30, 40, 50 record labels, until 2 gentlemen came in the picture and commercialized this. An Italian American by the name of Jerry Masucci, right? Jerry Masucci said, you know what? I'm gonna buy up all these record labels, and we're just gonna have one record label. And we're gonna have one label with all the musicians. And Johnny Pacheco, Dominican, but was super proud of representing the Puerto Rican culture, said, you know, if we're gonna sell this music to people, we can't sell them son montuno. We can't sell merengue. We can't sell cha-cha-cha. We gotta put this all in one. We gotta put it all together, like a gumbo, like a sauce. That's exactly what happened.
No, fair enough, that makes sense.
And Pacheco was like, we're gonna call this salsa. This dance didn't come from a ballroom. It didn't come from a studio. This was a street-based dance, just like the music, right? Yeah. It was grassroots. So, you know, Friday All-Stars are in the Bronx doing a concert in Orchard Beach, and people are just jamming and they're just dancing and they're just, you know, there wasn't really any structure to this, right? Eddie and Maria Torres were the ones that said, you know what, we're gonna structure this, we're gonna put numbers in this dance, we're gonna name these moves, when I bring a girl from point A to point B, we're gonna call it a crossbody lead. We're gonna, when we're going over our foot, overstep over, we're gonna call that a Susie Q.
And did they make the names, because Susie Q to me is such an Americanized name, right? Was that kind of on purpose to make, let's say, a different population, a wider population appeal?
Great question. Eddie Torres had a mentor.
Okay.
And his mentor, God bless her soul, she was the one that helped Eddie name these names.
Got it.
And she came from a ballroom background. So again, even though this is street, ballroom had a lot of influence on structurizing this dance. Okay. And all the crazy partner work you see, like partnering, didn't start until the Latin hustle. If it wasn't for Latin hustle, if it wasn't for hustle, we wouldn't have partner work at all in salsa.
Which we will go into what that is. That's one of our upcoming episodes. It's a
Absolutely.
great dance.
I got nothing to do with that, so.
Fair enough. But
Wow.
you are the man for salsa. And you see why I asked him to come on here and explain this to you all? No, that's really fascinating. I didn't know that part of it came from ballroom.
Yeah.
And that actually
Yes.
kind of moves me into some of the next series of questions I have for you, which are, first off, because I get this a lot, what is the difference between salsa on 1 and salsa on 2? And for people looking to learn, which one should they start with?
So culturally, salsa on 1 is South American in the US, the West Coast, right? Salsa on 2, which in New York they call it mambo on 2, more East Coast, more Puerto Rico. So culturally, that's where that's at. In terms of numbers and steps, there's really 8 basics in salsa. And it's wherever your left foot steps on. Right, so if there's the 1, my left foot is always going to step on the 1 if I want to dance on 1. If I want to dance on 2, my left foot has to hit that 2. If I want to hit that 3, my left foot has to hit that 3 going forward, right? And that's why I do my basic going back and forth.
And so is it just a matter then of what you're feeling that day, that if you dance on salsa?
It's a matter of where you grow up. If I'm born and raised in LA, I'm going to dance on 1. It's just naturally, if I'm in South America, I'm going to be on 1. If I'm in Cuba, if I'm in Puerto Rico, if I'm in Chicago, if I'm in New York, if I'm in Florida, culturally it's going to be on 2. So I recommend that everybody learn both.
And you brought up a really important point, you're kind of going into the history of salsa, which is, some of this did come from ballroom, the naming of things came from ballroom, because
That's right.
There's a common misconception that ballroom is so different from salsa. Salsa is a street dance. It's not as whatever. And as we just learned, that's not true. What are some other common misconceptions about salsa dancing or the salsa scene?
I think in the beginning, before bachata came in, it was too sensualized, too sexy. But now we're innocent compared to bachata. So,
that's for sure.
So I think that was a misconception back in the day. I think, a lot of parents were scared when their children would dance salsa, or when their adult kids would dance salsa. You know what I'm saying? And no, now parents encourage it. Parents love the work ethic that it takes to become a great salsa dancer. The community that we have in the salsa community, it's beautiful. It's great. Obviously, there's always bad in everything that you do, right? With anything,
if
right?
you got good, you're gonna have that special snowflake that's messing it up for everyone.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just the way it is. But
So I think right now, what we're battling in salsa is you can't cheat it.
No.
You can't cheat salsa. No. Like you really have to put the work in to be a great salsa dancer or a great salsa musician. So this is not knocking all Latin music is beautiful, but there are easier ways to get into the Latin dance community, right? And so right now, it's like people are like, man, that's just too hard for me. Like, I don't want to do that. I just want to go to the club and pick up a chick and do my 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm good, and I go back home, right? That's where we're at right now. But I don't look at that as a bad thing. I just be like, it's more work for me. I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Like,
fair enough.
I'm just like, well, those that actually want to do it and want to put the work in, right now, we're at an all-time high with having a long career in this industry, in salsa. Like, if you really want to put this, there's not many people out there working as hard as you, so you're bound to have an incredible career.
It's that work smarter, not necessarily harder, but there's a lot of hard work. And it's also the longevity factor, right? If you're passionate about it, you stick with it, you have a future in it.
Yeah, and this is speaking from a professional standpoint,
of course.
right? There are people that are like, I don't want to do any of that. I just want to leave my job and disconnect, and this is my freedom. Because that's what salsa does, right?
Yes.
Salsa is like, I don't have to know anybody, but I walk into a place, we know how to dance. You were my medicine, you were my remedy, right? Yeah. Like, I had a bad day at work, I just had the best dance with this girl, or the best dance with this guy. Oh my God, the DJ was incredible. I'm reset and I'm ready for work tomorrow. There are people like that, right? That they don't really care about the numbers and they just want to go out and have a good time.
It's very social for them.
Of course.
And it is, you brought up a very important point, which is, dance, I think in general is very powerful. Salsa, to me, maybe I'm biased, even more so, just for the reasons you just said.
No, you're not biased, you're right.
I like you. No, but it really can, use the word reset. And I think that that's really important because it can reset your whole day. It can reset your mindset walking into that club, even if it is just socially. And I think that's the great thing about salsa. You can do it professionally, like my dear friend here, but you can also do it socially. And everybody gets something different out of dance. And as this show really tries to drive home a lot, dance is for everyone who wants to learn. You don't have to look a certain way, be a certain way. If you want to learn, it's available to you.
That's right.
We may be fading to black, but we're not done yet. This is only part 1 of a 2-part episode featuring Edwin. Stay tuned for our next episode where Edwin talks about his journey into salsa dance, what he's doing now, and where the salsa scene is headed.